Peter Chang joins me now from Kuala Lumpur of Malaysia. He's the Deputy Director of the Institute of China Studies at the University of Malaya. As Ryan pointed out, that foreign ministers' exchange in August was a bit of a tense affair. Are we expecting a different tone this time around, do you believe?
I imagine it would be so. The global geopolitical dynamics and tension will probably be felt at this summit this weekend.
And what are you expecting as you look at the agenda? What can we expect in terms of some takeaways? There's talk that China and ASEAN will discuss upgrading their ASEAN-China free trade zone. Do you think that's likely?
Yes, I think so. I think that will be a very positive move. I mean, the ASEAN-China relationship fundamentals are very strong, despite the fact that we do have some disputes or challenges in the South China Sea. But the last 2-3 years, because of the COVID pandemic, the interaction between ASEAN and China has moved to the slow lane. And we really need to get the economic interaction and trade activities between the region and China back to the fast lane. So this proposal that China wants to fast track the free trade zone establishment in ASEAN is the right move, I think.
And Peter, talk to us about the importance of this relationship, because the Bangkok Post is reporting that trade between China and several Southeast Asian nations actually grew by double-digit percentages in the first 9 months of the year. As you said, it's kind of slow track right now, want to get it to the fast track. But talk to us about the growth potential there.
Yeah, we really need China to come into the picture right now, because ASEAN is beginning to come out from the post-pandemic recovery phase, but China right now is still relatively out of the picture, partly because of their own zero COVID strategy. So we really need to see the borders opening again. Here in Malaysia, we want to see more exchange between the people's contact, and companies could be able to move in and out again between Malaysia and China. And that's very crucial. I think China needs to be able to be ready to open up and once again engage with us. China is such a crucial component in our recovery, post-recovery phase.
And Peter, do the ASEAN countries feel kind of in a bind, having to kind of straddle the relationship with China as well as the United States?
We recognize the tension between US and China, but ASEAN centrality and ASEAN neutrality vision has always been to keep an open door. It is to our core interests, ASEAN's core interests, to maintain an open door policy, to engage openly with both superpowers. We need both China and US to be constructively, actively present in the region. And we want to encourage the two superpowers. And it's we receive this as a good news that President Biden and President Xi will be meeting next week at Bali. And we really want to see work and promote this kind of dialogue between the two superpowers, because ultimately it is to our own good. ASEAN core interest lies in a very strong and stable relationship between the two superpowers.
Peter, always respect and enjoy your perspective on things. Great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us.